If your child cannot hear the word, they are not going to be able to read the word. Welcome to my channel. My name's Colleen. I have been a primary school teacher, head teacher and Senko for over 15 years now, and at every school I've worked at, I've always been the phonics and the reading lead. So today I want to talk to you about oral blending, and it's so important. Oral blending is just sound talking to your child and seeing whether they can blend what you've said together to make a word. For example, if you said the word d-o-g, can your child hear that you've said dog? Why is this important? Well, if your child cannot hear what word you are making when you sound it out, when you then add in the element of trying to read it, they still aren't going to be able to hear that word, and it's not going to make any difference. So if your child is struggling with their blending, they might have an issue with their oral blending. Let me show you an example. Okay, here I have the different types of words. There are other types of words, but for today, I'm just going to focus on 3 sound words up to 5 sound words. So for example, you've got CVC, like dog, which just means consonant, vowel, consonant. So you can see here the D is our consonant, the O is our vowel, and the G is the consonant. So that's all I mean by these letters written here. So a CVC word would be dog. That's where you need to start. Can your child hear the CVC blends? So if you say to your child, oh, let's go and d-i-g, can they hear the word dig, for example? If your child is able to hear the CVC words, as long as they recognise all of the letters in that word, they should be able to blend when looking at words and looking at letters, they should be able to blend CVC words. If your child is coming across the word, for example, drag in their story, and you know they know all of the letters, that's also really important, but they're not able to say it and they're saying d-r-a-g, rag, then maybe you need to go back to oral blending with them and start saying words that contain 2 consonants at the beginning. Children often find this really tricky. We call it consonant blends. If your child is able to do those when reading a story, but you're getting to these words and they're getting stuck, maybe the issue is their CVCC words, and those are the ones you need to practice oral blending. And again, if they can do those ones, but this is the stage they're getting stuck at, then again, work on oral blending of your CCVCC words. And these can be really tricky because there are 3 consonants at the beginning. You're going to want to practice orally blending those words before you ask your child to actually start reading in the book. Just a little top tip here, you do need to make sure that whatever word you are giving to your child, they actually do know all of those letters first. If they know all of the letters, but they can't hear the word, then you know the issue is their oral blending, and you need to choose which stage they're at, and that's what you need to teach them. If you are looking for more advice on this, I do now have an online course where I explain this in a lot of detail, and I also explain all of the different stages of reading. So just drop me a DM if you'd be interested in purchasing that course. In addition to that, I do offer online tutoring, so drop me a DM if you're interested. I am quite full at the moment, but still we can add you to a waiting list if I don't have the space for your child. And finally, I have an online community called Raising Readers, where I support parents and give them more personalised support specific to what their child needs. So again, if you're interested in that, just drop me a DM, and I hope this video has helped.